Um, I'm gonna show you a little video, or I'm gonna do a demonstration of how to upload the Foodie, the web app to your server and set up everything. Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna use the subdomain, delete pro. So I'm gonna call it delete pro. What you can see is just listing the folders. That's to tell you in the directory there's nothing in. Okay, this is where we're going to install the files. So first what we're going to do is clean out the included files. So you select this, then you delete. Now if you do this, you're gonna get empty folders. So now what we're gonna do is we want to upload the project into this folder. So you're just gonna click on upload, then select the file. So mine is on the download. So yes, so open, and the upload process is just gonna start. That's just an average of 2 megabyte file, so you should be done in a minute or two. So okay, also while doing this, you need to know that Laravel, for Laravel projects, you need to point your server to the public folder in the Laravel project. Okay, because if you point the domain directly to the Laravel project, the Laravel project folder, without pointing it into the public, it will just a list of folders. The app is not gonna run. So I'm gonna take you through the process. So just waiting for the upload to finish. My internet is kind of very slow this morning, so I'm just gonna pause the video, then continue when it's done uploading. The upload is done, so let's check in our directory. Just gonna refresh. Now you have the folder here, so we need to extract to the folder. So you right click, extract. Yes, close. Now you can delete the compressed folder you uploaded. Now the extracted project is inside the folder, but we want to move everything outside from this folder outside. So you're just going to select all, click on move, then remove the current folder directory. So you just have to delete this, then move files, then files has been moved in here. So one of the things you're going to do is this folder is no longer needed. This was the folder where the whole project was inside. So since we move it out, there's no need for this. So you can just control, then just remove it. Now you can see the subdomain is pointed directly to this folder. Now if I refresh, there's gonna be just listing of the folder, right? Because the server doesn't understand what it's supposed to do in here. And Laravel projects should be pointed to the public. This is where Laravel receives the request and whatever, it knows what to do. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our domain, cPanel. We'll go to subdomains. It could be domains for you, but because we're using subdomains, so it's gonna be subdomain. Then we want to tell the subdomain to point to the public folder. So you can see the rest I have other projects. You see all point in the public, except for this, which is just a normal website. The rest that has the public are all our projects. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit, then put / public. So what we are saying is we are telling the server that it has been updated. Okay, so we are telling the server that anytime somebody make a request to this, go into the public folder in the delivepro.thesnapsacks.com and save whatever is in there. Okay, so guys, the major thing was the browser I was using, Edge, Microsoft Edge. It does a lot of caching, so I had to go to my settings and clear my browser history for the past an hour or 24. So you guys, in case you still get the directory listing, you just have to clear your history or clear the cache for the past 10 an hour or so. All right, so right now the domain is pointing directly to the public folder. Now you will notice there's an error here saying the page could not be saved and stuff. The reason being that the Laravel project itself has not been configured properly. So there are two things we need to do. First, we need to do run composer install, so that the composer will install all the packages needed in the project. Then after that, we're going to set up the database. Then we'll do migration. So right now we're gonna do the cPanel logged in. I didn't want you guys to see my credentials, obviously, but the thing was I was logged out because I cleared my cache. I believe you guys understand how cache history works. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run a command to tell Laravel to install the packages that is needed. So you can just scroll to your terminal. If you don't have terminal in your advanced section here, you go to manage shell. Under manage shell, you need to, oh, my network is slow today. You need to enable this. Okay, as you can see, mine is enabled already. If I disable it, terminal will not be available, but if I enable it, I will be able to use the terminal. So just now, when you enable that, you just come to the advanced, or you could just search for it. So terminal, please ensure that the codes are the same, the commands you're about to run are the same. Okay, you can try it on the staging server first before you do it on your live server. Okay, so first I need to navigate into the folder where the project is. So I can do ls, so I can see list of the folders. Okay, I'm going to do cd. So now I'm into the folder, I'm inside the folder. So let me just do clear. So I'm going to run the composer install command that's going to install the packages we need in the Laravel project. So I'm going to see composer install. And it's just going to install all the, as you can see, installing this, installing that. So installation is done. So now if you refresh, we'll likely get another error. All right, and the error here is access denied for user. Like I told you guys, after running a command, we need to set up our database. Okay, so right now we need to set up the database. So you're going to look for MySQL. So I'm just going to open this in a new tab so we don't have to be changing. So MySQL database. So we're going to create a database. So if you have a database created already, you can use that. You can skip this process, but to create a database, we just gonna say let's call it Delete Pro, since that's the name of the domain we're using. So create database. All right, now you need to note down some of these credentials. Okay, so this is going to be your database name. All right, so let me open test editor here. So new document. So what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna put this aside here. So I'm gonna say database. Okay, supposed to just copy this. All right, paste it here. All right. Then the next we need to create the user connected to the database. So go back. So you go to MySQL users, add new users. All right, if you already have a user, a general user you want to use, you can skip this stage. But for those that need to create a new user, so you're gonna do new user. So you're gonna define the name of the user. So we're gonna call it div pro. Then for the password, you can type in your password, or you can use the password generator here. Okay, so it all depends on you. So let me use the password generator, and this is the password that's been generated for us. So we just gonna copy this. All right, copy this, then go to our test editor. Then we say password. All right, password. Paste it in there. Then you just click on. I have copied this password in a safe place. Then click use. So that password will be auto filled into the input for you. So you can click on create user. Now you've created the user. So you've successfully created a MySQL user named this. So you're also gonna copy this. Now this is our username, the database username. So we're gonna paste. Now there's one more thing we need to do. Okay, when we've created a database, we've created a user, but we've not assigned the users that have access to the database. So you're just gonna scroll down and you see add user to database. So user we selected. This is our new user. This is the new user we created. Database, and this is the new database we created. So we're gonna be like add, and it's gonna show us a page where we need to select the permissions or privilege for the user. Normally you want to use create, delete, select the normal CRUD if you know what you're doing, but for a start you're just gonna click on all privilege, make changes, you save database the user privilege on the database. So this user now have the privilege to query this database. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're done with this. So you can just click and go back. Now if you refresh the page, you're still gonna have this whole problem unable to access database, because we've created a new database, a new user, but we've not told Laravel this is the credentials you should use to access the database. So how do we do that? To go back into that same folder, so file manager, sorry guys, my internet seems to be very slow today. So file manager, now we'll look for this. Okay, now you're going to look out for an env file. Okay, .env file. Sometimes the server hides some of the dot folder or dot files. So what you can do is click on settings here, settings, then you can see show hidden files, the dot files. So some people might have this by default unchecked, so that means every dot files will not be shown. But if you check this and you click on save, okay, then the dot files will be visible for you to edit. So we're just going to click on this, edit. All right, so there are several things you might need to change here, but for a start we only need to change the database credentials. Okay, now the database host is not going to be changed because the database and the project is on the same server. So now this is what we need to change. DB database. Okay, so we need to change this to the database we created a few minutes ago. So open our text editor, copy this, then you paste. Now over to the username, copy this, then you paste. Then for the password, you also copy this, then you paste. Okay, now if we save and we run, we're still going to have a problem. The reason being that now the database, the system is able to make requests to the database, but the database is empty. Okay, the database is empty. Since we're done with this, we've saved this, we can just close this. Okay, now the database is empty. How do I know if the database is empty? Okay, let's go to the cPanel and look for phpMyAdmin. So phpMyAdmin, you guys should be familiar with phpMyAdmin. Yes, it's just your SQL viewer on your server. All right. So as you can see, we have other other database here, but the database we are dealing with is this. So if you click on it, you notice no tables found in the database. That's why you're having some errors here. Okay, so now how do we fix that? We need to go to the terminal again. Okay, terminal. So same thing we need to do, list the directory just in case you don't know the directory. cd delete pro.snaptask.com. Okay, I got the spelling wrong. The snaptask. So the snaptask. Please ensure that the spellings are correct. All right, so let me clear this. Now what we want to do is we want to run a command for PHP, for Laravel to do the migration. Migration simply means creating the new database, filling in data that are needed. Okay, so how do we do that? So we do that by running a simple command, php artisan migrate. All right, now after running the php artisan migrate, we're going to have a problem here. All right, the problem we're having is the size the database is using. Okay, the database on this our server, for string it supports a maximum of 191, but by default Laravel is using 255. All right, so right now we need to find a way to tell Laravel that okay, this is the number of character that should be acceptable into the string columns. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go back to your file manager. Okay, inside your file manager, select the project. All right, then go into app, then look for providers. Then we're going to edit this, the app service provider. All right, so click on edit. All right, so in here, this is where we're going to tell the project that, okay, while you're booting, this is a number you should use for the string. Okay, so this code, let me just open the previous code so I can just copy the command for you. All right, so as you can see in one of the other projects, you notice that here we said schema default string length should be 191. Like I was telling you guys, the versions of the MySQL all differs. Okay, by default, Laravel is trying to use 255 for the length of the string, but the version of the MySQL on our server or your server could be expecting that the maximum should be 191. So this is a way of telling Laravel that, okay, we know you're supposed to use 255, but because of the kind of server, MySQL server I'm running, I want you to use the maximum of 191. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, let me just copy it from this, and this is the folder. So after copying this, we also need to copy one more line, which is this. So you copy this line and post. Okay, so you copy this line. So you have to compare your app service provider with the one I have right now. So you need to add this to the line. Okay, then add this to the boot folder. Okay, so once you're done, you can click on save. All right, now let's try to run the command, the php artisan migrate, we're going to encounter an error. All right, now the error we encounter is not really an error. As you can see, the Laravel is trying to create a table users, but having a complaint that the table already exists. The reason why you have this was the first time you run the migration, the first time we actually run this migration, that it failed, right? The project has started creating some of the tables before you encounter an error. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the phpMyAdmin. All right, refresh this, and you can see some of the tables we already created. Okay, so you just check all, then you drop. All right, so you drop. Now we can go back to our terminal, then run the php artisan migrate command again. All right, so as you can see, we've run the migration table created successfully, then we've migrated everything on the system. So the next thing we can do now, like if I refresh the system now, it's going to load, but as you can see, everything is all empty. Okay, because there's no data. Okay, the migration just created a table, but it didn't fill in the default data. All right, so what we're gonna do right now is, instead of just running the migrate, we're gonna run php artisan migrate. Migrate is to create the tables, so migrate fresh. So we are telling it, okay, take out the old tables, create new tables, then seed is a way of saying, okay, there are some data, predefined data, there are some data that has been saved into the code, fill it into the database so that we don't have empty data on our website. So this is the command php artisan migrate semicolon fresh, then the hyphen, double hyphen, then the seed. Okay, now run this command. As you can see, after initially when we run the first command, it just did a migrated, and that's all. But with this command, you can see the word seeding. So the seeding is just a way of saying, okay, we are saving some new data, some predefined data into the database. Okay, now if I refresh the site, there we go. So now you can see there are now data in the system. All right, there are now data in the system. Also, apart from that, you will notice that the logo, there's supposed to be a logo in here. Now the reason why the logo is not showing is the system is not able to link where the logo is, some of the images are. So with that, we're going to run a separate command. So the command is going to be php artisan storage link. All right, so now if we refresh this, it should show. But okay, hold on, I'm just gonna check if the uploaded file actually included the images. All right, so we open this. Now let's go back to our delivery. So you check storage, app, public. All right, so I'm gonna check on that. That's one of the problems you have with shared hosting, where you have files all over the place. But for now, you can see that everything is work. So you can search pizza something. Pizza. I don't think there's a word called pizza. Oh, sorry, pizza. And you get the stores that have pizza available. So you click on this, then you can see they are divided into menu, the breakfast, dinner, lunch. Okay. You select product. The image seems broken. All this thing can be set from the database, from the backend. The backend is available when you buy the mobile version. Okay. So you can have extras option. So you add to cart. All right. Successfully added to cart. Okay. And you can see you don't have to refresh anything. Your cart is up to date. Okay. Then you can just go to the cart. Now you have your cart here. You increase, you decrease, you increase. So your prices are all up to date here. Okay. Then you can decide to remove. Now for checkout, if you try to check out, because you're not logging, you'll be forced to log in. So your user have the ability to just see through the app without the need to log in. Okay, now they can just log in. So I'm just gonna use unkind at domain.com, then password should be password, and I log in. I can now continue. I'm saving. Save. Go back to cards. Now you can check out, and you see your options are all available for you. Okay. So let's use this. So a new page will be open for you. The payment will be load. So you can just, this is the one I want to use. So this is all from a Razor Pay. So everything has been set for you. So loading bank successful. So successful. Okay. Now if you go, the page will load for you. So my orders, so as you can see, the order has been processed, the status has changed to preparing, and all this can be changed from the backend. So from the back end, you can decide that, okay, this particular order, as a vendor or as a store owner, this order will come to your end. When you process it, you can move it to prepare, you can move it to and ready for pickup. So when it's ready for pickup, the administrator of the system will just assign a delivery guy, and the status will keep changing it so that the user is aware. So as for the user, you can click on this and you will see the product, the quantity of the product you order. This is the logo from the vendor or the store you ordered it from. This is the code, the time, and the price. Basically, that should be all. So you have your help here, normal help. You can change the content. You have the terms and condition. You can change the content. You have the privacy policy. You can change the content. And the links here, you can also change the content. So the link here is linking to my Twitter account. So all this can be changed. Everything can be changed. Okay. So apart from, you also have a profile. So your profile contains your edit profile, change passwords, basically. Then the orders, you can list the orders, delivery addresses. Okay, delivery addresses can add, delete, edit. Okay, so we can add new one to, let's say, office or town hall. Then the town hall should be in because I'm in Ghana. I'm trying to see, okay, trade fair, and everything is auto complete. Okay, trade fair. Should I make it a default? Okay, set as a default delivery address. Then you see if now you have your town hall there, so you can also edit it, change it, delete it, whatever, the way you like. Yeah. Then you have your sign out, and that's it. So thank you. All this content can be changed. All right. So thank you for going through the setup process with me. All right. Bye.